Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, or whatever the case may be. My name is Marcus, and I am the host of the Black Brazil Today YouTube channel, as well as the blackbraziltoday.com blog, where I analyze Brazil from the perspective of race. So, I like to sometimes cover things that are not so serious, maybe kind of comical, you know, just something that's not so heavy. So when I came across this video either yesterday or the day before, I was like, wow, this is funny. And, it involves a Black American, a Black Brazilian in New York. So the social influencer who is at the center of today's video, I know of her. I know she's extremely popular. I know that her star has just exploded in the last 3 years, particularly after the pandemic. I don't know everything about her. I know a little bit. I know her when I see her, and I know she has an important presence in social networks. But what happened with her in New York a few days ago, it was just comical. So I says, wow, I have to talk about this. The video went on, it was all over, social networks in Brazil. People got a real kick out of the video. So let me talk about this, then I'm going to get more into who she is. So today's video, You're Tall. Social influencer Camilla de Lucas video of comedian Kevin Hart's reaction to her height at film premiere goes viral. So let's check this out. Let's just get into what this video was about. It was, like I said, it was just kind of entertaining. So a few days ago, this was a social network influencer, Camilla de Lucas, got big laughs in the video she posted with the comedian and actor Kevin Hart on January 9th. Camilla was in New York for the premiere of Hart's new movie, Lift. Followers of the Brazilian were amused by the look on the American actor's face when she stood up. According to reports, Hart stands somewhere between 5'3" and 5'6", while Lucas is about 5'10". Now, we've all seen Kevin Hart. We all know that he's on the shorter side. I saw somewhere where he claimed to be 5'7", and I'm just saying all the videos that I've seen of him standing next to people, I would say he's closer to 5'4". I don't know, 5'3", 5'4". I would put him and Cat Williams probably in that same parameter of height. It's kind of funny today because I didn't even know Kevin Hart had a movie coming out. I actually heard about it because I'm quite sure a lot of you are familiar with the explosion of this Cat Williams, comedian Cat Williams' interview on the Shannon Sharpe YouTube channel. And Kevin Hart's name came up in response to what Cat Williams was talking about. And in his response, he kind of promoted his new movie that's coming out. So that's when I had heard about it. I don't follow all the celebrity stuff, but I thought this was funny because what happened is, as you see in the video, Camilla de Lucas starts talking to Kevin Hart. She's at the premiere, everybody's hobnobbing and rubbing elbows or whatever. And apparently she stooped over to talk to Kevin Hart. And so I'm saying he doesn't look like he is getting a full view of her, but because she's probably stooped over, he's assuming that she's around his height. But then she stands up firm and he looks up. It's like, wow, you can actually hear him say it in the video, like, you're tall. I mean, it's like I said, we've all seen Kevin Hart. We know that he can say you're tall to a bunch of people because, like I said, I would assume Kevin Hart somewhere. I'll give him 5'5" maybe, but I'm leaning towards 5'3", 5'4". He's just not a very tall guy. So it's, I'm quite sure he's been accustomed for years to telling people that, wow, you're tall. Tell you the truth, I didn't know that Camilla de Lucas was that tall, but it was just funny how because she recorded the video herself and she caught that split second when he was just caught, like, wow, I didn't know you were that tall, right? Anyway, it was just funny. So I'm going to keep, I guess the question would be for people who don't live in Brazil, who is Camilla de Lucas, right? So before I get into that, make sure you like this video, share this video. Consider subscribing to this channel if you've seen more than a few videos that you like here, or if you even just like this video. Click on the notification bell so that you'll know when I put up new videos. If you like, just definitely consider dropping a super thanks or maybe adding a couple of dollars to my Cash App is always appreciated. With that said, let's get into this. Just get into a little bit of the biography of who this person is, Camilla de Lucas. Camilla de Lucas is a social media influencer who started seeing success around 2017 with a string of funny videos and content in which she discussed fashion, behavior, and self-esteem, which millions of Black girls and women could relate to. With the magic of social networks, she quickly garnered a legion of fans through the Instagram and TikTok platforms. She even attracted compliments from well-known Brazilian stars such as actresses Giovanna Eubank, Regina Casé, and Taís Araújo, whose name keeps coming up on the channel. Camila was born in October of 1994 in the city of Nova Iguaçu, located in the state of Rio de Janeiro. Coming from humble origins, the young woman, like so many Brazilians, dreamed of being able to help her family financially, something she realized was possible through working with the internet. I mean, let's be real. The internet has made a lot of people a lot of money, over the last couple of decades. Describing herself as a blogueirinha real, a blogueirinha real, as they would say in Brazil, or a real blogger, Camila has a huge following on various outlets. She has a YouTube channel and also posts her content on Instagram. By the age of 26, the native of Nova Iguaçu had already gathered or garnered more than 7.5 million followers on all her social networks. Today, she has more than 10 million followers on Instagram alone. Having already found success on the web, Camila blew up even more during the social isolation of the pandemic. Her videos mostly focus on subjects that women can relate to, such as beauty, hair, and the right makeup for Black skin. But that wasn't all. With the rise of Black identity politics in Brazil, Camila also tackled other issues such as racism while still finding time to create comedic videos. Okay. At age 26, Camila was working exclusively producing content for the internet, but that hadn't always been the case. A few years before hitting the internet, the young woman worked in a real estate agency and even studied accounting for a while. Today, the influencer works exclusively creating content online, although that wasn't always the case. In the years before finding fame online, as I just said, she worked in real estate. She also studied accounting. No, I just repeated that, but I just noticed that. Okay, just a couple pictures of Camila here. She says she has always been connected to the internet since early adolescence. In addition, she has always liked to take look and make up photos, proving that her talent for blogging came very early on. However, it wasn't until 2017 that she started using the internet as a means to promote herself and start taking her first steps as a YouTuber. Posting her first video on her YouTube channel in 2017, that video was a tutorial on how to give fullness to cabelo crespo y cacheado, meaning kiki and curly hair. With her style clicking with people, she soon began to attract more and more followers, and with this initial success, started investing in higher quality videos. In 2020, it was the social isolation and millions of people being forced to stay home that she saw her numbers increase considerably when she started posting skits and videos on the TikTok platform. Just like that, Camilla de Lucas became one of the most important names in 2020. Releasing memes and live videos, the blogger quickly doubled her number of followers from 1 million to 2 million. With Black Brazilians still feeling very underrepresented in Brazil's mainstream media, she became a reference for many girls who didn't see themselves amongst the most popular bloggers. Portraying everyday situations that most Brazilians were familiar with in a humorous way demonstrated her natural talent for comedy. This is just a still of what her Instagram page looks like. Soon her YouTube channel topped more than 100 videos as the influencer attained 2.1 million subscribers, and on Instagram more than 3.1 million by 2021. Making use of as many social networks as possible, she also became active on Twitter, where today she has about 2.7 million followers. On TikTok, where she initially blew up, Camila has more than 5.3 million followers, along with an impressive figure of 10 million on Instagram. So this is what her YouTube page looks like. I think she's up to like it says 303 videos here, 2.53 million followers, subscribers on YouTube. With her success came recognition. In 2020, she was featured by Forbes magazine along with other Brazilians as one of the most promising personalities under the age of 30. Then in October of 2020 came her first magazine cover, a feat she replicated several times for other magazines. You have Came here, Glamour Brazil, and Elle Brazil. Came is, if I'm not mistaken, it is just a Brazilian magazine, but we know that Glamour and Elle, they have different editions in different countries. So these are the Brazilian editions. With her meteoric rise on TikTok, Camila was nominated for the National TikToker Award, the Female YouTuber Award, and the Breakthrough Awards of 2020, and also the TikToker of the Year at the Meus Prêmios Nikki 2020. Camila's success and fame came at a time in which people sought distractions because of the difficulties caused by COVID-19. Praised by many popular celebrities, such as the previous actresses that I mentioned, for her natural charisma in front of the camera. Camilla still wasn't officially an actress, but she soon committed to taking drama courses. Shortly thereafter, she co-starred in a music video by popular singer Mumuzinho. I think this is a still from the video. I think Camilla did recently appear in a movie. I didn't look that up. I thought I saw that maybe a month or so ago. That she starred in some movie. I'm not sure what the name of that movie was. I have to check that out another time. With her popularity exploding and all the success she has achieved, Camilla de Lucas decided to move out of the house where she lived with her family. Therefore, the young woman now has her own space to be able to record her content more peacefully. At the time, she said she was practically married to her boyfriend, Mateus Ricardo, who spends most of his time with her. The couple has been together for a minute and has all the signs of becoming something serious. The blogger says she couldn't wait for a proposal. Well, that day came and the couple married sometime last year in what the media described as a luxurious ceremony. So this is one of the pictures from her recent marriage. I know a lot of people who promote the idea of amor preto, or black love in Brazil. They definitely were happy with seeing this couple. In 2021, she was chosen to participate on the ever-popular reality show Big Brother Brazil. Appearing on the program, her main goal, as it is with all BBB contestants, was to win the 1.5 million reais. That was the prize. That prize would have not only changed her life, but also that of her family and friends, with her intention of becoming a millionaire, she said. As for the expectation of the show, Camilla revealed that she doesn't do the quiet type nor the troublemaking type. At the time, she described herself as a person who sought justice and who went on the show to win and expose herself, showing viewers who she really was. So she actually didn't win the competition. She came in, said she made it all the way to the end. That was one of the more controversial Big Brother Brazil editions, because it was noted as the Big Brother Brazil edition at that time that had the most Black participants on that particular edition. Up until then, Black Brazilians have been arguing, complaining for years, like, how come we don't see any Black people on Big Brother Brazil? It's one of the most watched television programs in the whole country. They say it's the most watched house, where everybody stays on the Big Brother Brazil, during the show, where everybody, lives. They say it's the most watched house in Brazil. So it was a very controversial, what was it? It was a very controversial season. What happened with the actor Lucas Penteado. There were 2 Black women on that show, and it wasn't even just them. It was just several people who were just abusing this guy psychologically. I talked about this in a couple videos ago, and he got so frustrated that he ended up leaving the show. And I remember I woke up I think it was on a Sunday morning, and everybody on the internet was talking about Lucas left the show. Lucas left the show because he was tired of dealing with the attitudes that he was getting from these women on the show. So he bolted. He packed up and left one day. Lucas Penteado he's an actor also. He's appeared in a few movies. But I remember Camilla being kind of distraught because of what he was going through on the show. This is Lucas Penteado. This is the guy that I was just telling you about, and he ended up leaving the show because he was getting venom from this rapper named Carol Conká, and then this DJ and psychologist Lumina. And he was just getting venom from them like every other day until he couldn't deal with it anymore. He ended up just leaving the show. People were applauding him, like, you don't have to be somewhere where people are constantly disrespecting you. And I just remember that Camilla was really concerned about him, because she said, what's going on here is affecting him mentally and psychologically. Lucas Penteado actually ended up, I think recently he had to check himself in for some, I don't know if it was psychological exhaustion or he needed some mental therapy or something, but this came up again recently. And so this is what Camilla de Lucas was talking about. She saw what he was going through on the show, and she was just afraid for his well-being. Look at this video, this still right here. This is the Lumina. You see him, like, you see her like yelling in his face. It was just a lot of people got the view. And I've always said this, it's like, you can't think that, although Black people, we're always saying that we want unity, but we all have our own issues that we carry on our shoulders. And people just thought by just having all of these Black people on Big Brother Brazil, it was going to be just a beautiful situation. But as it went on, and people started getting eliminated. It was just like the real characters and personalities, all of these people started coming out, and it just didn't mesh very well. And, the black contestants started getting eliminated one after another. So, it just goes to show, man, this was another part of that particular season one episode where Carol Conká convinced the other participants to let Lucas leave him alone at the table eating. So he was just constantly, look at his face. This video is about Lucas, Camilla de Lucas, but she was involved in this program. There was another time when her and this Carol Conká actually, they had a couple of words on the show. But again, this is how I became aware this was a famous gay kiss on BBB. This is Lucas and this is the guy Gilberto. So this was a very controversial season. Like I said, Lucas ended up leaving, but this is when I became aware. I didn't even know who Camilla de Lucas was at the time. I just knew her as, somebody got chosen to be on Big Brother Brazil, but she had a huge following already up until that point. And as I've said before, you don't have to win on Big Brother Brazil. Just to be on Big Brother Brazil, it guarantees you're going to get a massive following on social networks. It can lead to all sorts of endorsement deals. I've seen people leave Big Brother Brazil after being eliminated. They get some type of business deal or something. They became a poster boy, poster girl for some product. They start to travel. They get hundreds of thousands of followers. So just being on Big Brother Brazil does this for a lot of people. So coming in second for Camilla de Lucas just made her star rise even quicker. She came in second place that season, when it came down to the vote. She got 5.23% of the vote to win the show. So she eventually lost, but like I said, wasn't no skin off her back. She kept it moving. She actually made it to the finale of the competition, but ended up taking second place with 5.23% of the votes to win. With the winner being announced and closing another season of the reality brand, Camila signed a contract with Rede Global television network, Brazil's top television network, and the home of the Big Brother Brazil brand. She then debuted as the co-host on the talent show The Masked Singer. I know a lot of people are familiar with that show. Just understand that a lot of things that happen in the United States, eventually they're going to be copied in Brazil. American media, television, and movies, I'm not going to say it completely dominates Brazilian media, but they get a lot of media from the United States and they'll just overdub it, in Portuguese. So you'll see a lot of reality shows that will have a Brazilian edition, the Voice Brazil, for example. So then with all of this success, there must have been a few drawbacks along the way. I mean, you being a social media, social network personality, you're bound to attract some shade, every now and then. Sometimes I just feel like checking out of social media because it's just like, it's in time, social networks can be kind of childish with some of the arguments and the beefs that come up, So then Camilla de Lucas was not absent. It was not free of any hostility or criticism herself. It can't be all just roses, right? One of them appeared in a series of stories on Instagram where she was crying after becoming the target of criticism after it became known that she was wearing a straight and blonde lace front wig. So this is Camilla de Lucas, addressing the criticism she was getting for wearing a lace front when people discovered that. Visibly shaken, she shared some of the most hurtful comments where her followers accused her of not accepting her natural hair, as well as kept questioning commitment to the struggle against racism. She says, "I'm a person who has a good psyche to put up with criticism, but what I've received today is bad comments, questioning me just because I posted a video on Instagram with the hair I wanted to wear," said Camila. The former BBB participant expressed opinion that she wasn't able to wear the hair she wanted because people always commented on her choices. Okay. Let me see here. In Brazil, in which hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Black women have started wearing their natural hair, the repercussions startled the influencer while still on BBB 21. In a story I featured on BB or on my Black Brazil Today blog, the contestant Rodolfo, this is something that happened during that same season. The contestant Rodolfo provoked outrage in Brazil's Black community when he compared the hair of another Black contestant, João Luiz, to that of a caveman, bringing the teacher to tears on the program. So this is a guy, Rodolfo, and this is the teacher, João Luiz. And so this guy referred to his hair. It was like, you got hair of a caveman. He was visibly shaken, started crying on the show. Camilla de Lucas was a friend of João Luiz, and, she tried to comfort him. But as I've said, I'm not really necessarily interested in reality shows, but Big Brother Brazil is always going to be something that jumps off that's going to have something to do with race because of the increase of black contestants on the show. Something that just jumped off on the newest season of Big Brother Brazil just hit the news just a few days ago. So as I'm saying, even if I don't follow the show, I'm going to hear about what happened. It has something to do with blackness or, something that a white person said or how black people are behaving with each other. It's like, you can't beat Big Brother Brazil. It is, if anything else, it's very entertaining. Camila stood up for her friend and went on to explain that she was wearing a wig on the show because she was in the middle of making a hair transition, which a lot of black women do in Brazil. When you've been taught your whole life that kinky curly hair, what they call cabelo crespo, is bad hair, and we've seen that over and over, they accept the idea that they have to straighten their hair, right? But in the last decade, black women have pushed back and says we should be proud of the type of hair that we have. We should be able to wear our hair natural. So then what happened with Camilla de Lucas is that she's seen as a social influencer. And so when people saw that she was wearing a wig, they called her out like, hey, what you doing wearing a wig? Nowadays we're promoting the pride in having cabello crespo, and here you are on TV rocking a wig. So it's funny because I talked about this in another video, this whole question of, okay, so because of the affirmative action program in Brazil, pretos e pardos, or black and brown people, are usually considered in the same category. They consider preto e pardo to be part of the black population. And I'll have to keep saying over and over, I accept the fact pardo is generally brown or mixed race people. But within that mixed race category, there are a number of pardos who we could consider black as well. So for years, the black activist community in Brazil has been trying to convince the pardos, the mixed race brown people, that they are black. So after all of that organized and finally getting people to accept that they are actually black, what happened was that in people pursuing quotas to get into universities, a lot of people were using fraudulent. They were using fraudulent like appearances, fraudulent photos. They were using fraudulent identification in terms of color. They would say they were brown or black. And so Afro-Brazilian activists had to create a whole like bench to judge who was black and who was not black enough, right? So then to me, this becomes a contradiction because at first you're trying to put all blacks and browns in the same category. But then when those brown people are trying to get in on quotas, you say, oh, you're not black enough. So then, it's becoming a mess in Brazil in terms of the whole race thing, how it's going. Again, I know I keep saying this, but that's a whole nother situation. But this is part of what I'm saying. When people invest in a certain ideology and then you stray away from that norm, now they're going to start calling you out. So a lot of people will look and say, we rocking our natural hair now. And then one of our leaders, she chose to put on a lace front, like you sold us out. So that's what happened with that. And, Camilla de Lucas had to defend herself, right? Anyway, she says, this is Camilla de Lucas, again, responding to the criticism. She says, be careful with the comments you make on the internet. It sucks. I can't stand people questioning the hair I'm wearing just because I defended the type of hair on the reality show. I'm extremely upset to see how bad and uninformed people are. Take responsibility when you're using the internet. You hurt people deeply. I'm free to wear whatever hair I want. Leave my hair alone, concluded the BBB 21 runner-up. Now, what's intriguing about that is another situation happened with popular funk singer Ludmilla. I think she appeared like in the next season. She wasn't a contestant, but she appeared on one of the programs, and she was also wearing a lace front wig. So this is what she got shade too. It says in another episode of Big Brother Brazil, popular singer Ludmilla also made a surprise performance on the show and also received harsh criticism for wearing a straight wig or weave, whatever that she's wearing. So I like covering these type of stories because it just gives you a small snapshot of what's going on in Brazil, particularly when it has to do with Black Brazilians. So anyway, this all started with a video made by this lady, Camilla de Lucas. I think Camilla will be 30 later on this year. And her venture to New York and how she happened to, she was at Kevin Hart's premiere of his new film. And just because he's, she's quite a bit taller than him. That's why I feel like I needed to talk about Camilla de Lucas today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Uh, like and share this video. If you like this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Click on the notification bell. As always, drop a couple dollars in that cash app, drop a super thanks. And with that said, I'm going to end this video here and ask that you all come back and check out the next video that I post.